From Wish TV and the All Indiana Podcast Network, this is the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast with Scott Sander.
Welcome to the Business, Equity, and Opportunities Podcast. I'm Scott Sander.
Time for a favorite part of Business, Equity, and Opportunities each week, our success story. ROCKLAND Page is an Arsenal Tech and Ball State grad whose initial career in graphic design took a turn when he transformed a creative outlet into a booming business. He has returned to Indianapolis to open Rock-A-Block, an expression of his artistic talents that were very much influenced by his family.
Every business is unique and has a target audience. If you own or manage a business, Circulus Digital Media can help you connect and grow your customer base with turnkey digital solutions that are nimble, offering best-in-class results, service, and support to reach a bigger customer base, allowing you to pinpoint a specific audience down to the smallest details. Get outside the city, the state, span the globe. Put Circulus Digital Media to work for you. Get started now at circulusdigital.com. That's circulusdigital.com.
This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started risk-free at greenlight.com/Wondery.
This is Business, Equity, and Opportunities. Success Story.
My name is ROCKLAND Page. Everybody calls me Rock. And we're in my new location in Indianapolis, the Rock-A-Block Design Studio, located at 1332 North Illinois. So in 2017, I launched rockablock.com out of my basement. But I knew I wanted my products to look like they came from a store shelf. I didn't want them to know it came from this dimly lit basement with a single light bulb hanging from the ceiling and clutter all around. And slowly but surely started building up over time. As I began to get bigger orders for items, I began to do more shipping. I knew I needed a bigger place, and I really wanted to involve the community in what I was doing, because I was doing comedy shows, poetry readings, all these things in my space, and it seemed like I needed to go somewhere where that was more prevalent. I decided to take my chances here in Indianapolis, and it's been a harrowing journey. Coming back after 20 years, in so many ways it feels like a whole new place. And one thing that really drove me to come here is just the change in the art scene. When I left, I feel like there really wasn't much here for me, but now there's other things going on where we don't have to wait till certain times of year. There's something going on all the time. And just to see the acceptance of art and culture and innovation here really encouraged me to come here versus going to Chicago, because I feel that I can really make my mark here. And not just within Indianapolis or Indiana, but ultimately the entire nation. Growing up, I've always loved art and design, and I've always been a bit of an entrepreneur. Originally, I wanted to be a comic book artist. I would draw Ninja Turtles and Treasure Trolls and whatever was popular back in the 80s and 90s. And I would sell these drawings to my classmates and teachers and friends. I would do portraits. But overall, my love of art came from my grandfather. He was a self-taught artist. He only had a third grade education, but he loved to paint and draw. And actually, I have two of his images right here, right behind me, that he painted probably back in the 1950s. And all of his kids had some sort of artistic, talent. My father did sculpture. My aunts and uncle, they used to draw and do paintings and have family art shows in upstate New York, where they grew up. And for me, I just felt like it was my responsibility to take this talent and gift and make something of it. And also, my great-grandfather, he actually had a patent for a flying car back in 1945. And I always heard stories about how he had this flying car and invented it. And I just said, yeah, right, whatever. Yeah, just telling tall tales. Until several years ago, one of my cousins sent me prints of his schematics and his patents from back then in newspaper clippings. And so I just think my desire for entrepreneurship and make a name for myself and to create and tell stories, comes from that background. Because this just isn't a clothing store. This isn't just a t-shirt brand or a screen printing service. This is a way for me to tell stories, and apparel is just a medium that I use. When people see my products or wear them, I want them to feel empowered, want them to feel like it gives a statement about what they are, who they are, and what they believe. And to me, it takes courage to wear something, to some people this might seem very radical, but it's our history, it's our culture, it's our background, and it really gives, some context to who this person is that wears it. And so what I want this place to be is a gallery, a museum, a clothing store, a workshop, a classroom, all these things in one to help bring community together and help tell stories, whether it's through this type of medium or spoken word or anything else that can come to mind. And I want to be able to teach people that they can use their art, that they use their craft to create a future for themselves and their families and make a difference in their communities. It's not just about the money, it's also about the connection, about the people, and that's why I'm here.
Our thanks again to all the contributors who joined us for this episode of the Business Equity and Opportunities podcast. We hope you found it enlightening, useful, and inspiring. You'll find more information about the show on our website, BEOshow.com. You can watch Business Equity and Opportunities Sunday mornings at 10 on Wish TV or live stream it through wishtv.com. Each week we provide 7 full segments with topics ranging from how to get started and how to access capital to the day-to-day running of your business and questions about accounting and bookkeeping. We feature business news and trends and always share a success story from one of our contributors. Join us next time for more insights into the world of small business. Be sure to sign up for our Business Equity and Opportunities newsletter to get even more valuable, up-to-date information. And if you have any questions or you'd like to be part of our show, please email us. The address is beo@wishtv.com. We'd love to hear from you. I'm Scott Sander. Thanks for listening.
Watch the Business Equity and Opportunity Show on Wish TV and access all of our content and share it on demand anytime at BEOshow.com. You can find more podcasts from Wish TV on the All Indiana Podcast Network at allindianapodcastnetwork.com.